Hello, hello, hello. Check, check. Hey, folks, welcome on this day three of the session. So I hope you're enjoying the presentation and kind of looking at App Inventor and trying to do something. We will also have the contest. I'll be talking about it tomorrow about the contest. Meanwhile, let me show you today's plan. So basically, what we will do today is we will try to create a simple drawing canvas. We'll try to write a simple game where we fling a ball and it'll touch a target and things like that. We'll try to mimic a knockball kind of game. I'll show you what that game is. And as usual, at the end of during the end, I'll be sharing a Google Meet where you can ask me specific questions. So if you got stuck in something, some steps, or it's not working for you, I'll be sharing the meeting ID, and we'll go on from there. So let's go to App Inventor. So before I just want to show something what we will do so that you know exactly what's coming. So I'm going to actually show you something. So I'm actually bringing up my companion, and what I will do is I will show you the kind of game that we will try to do. So let me show my screen. Actually building the, so what we are going to do, I'll just show you the screen, and let me show you my, this particular thing. So what we are going to do is, once you click fling, we are going to kind of create a game of this type. Okay. So we will try to create this kind of a what was um, what was known as knockball game. This was called as knockball, quite a, so so we will try to create this kind of game using App Inventor. Okay, so I'm going to stop now, and we'll try to create this. Let's see how to do it. Okay, so we'll have to learn about canvas, we'll have to learn about sprite, image sprite, and balls. Okay, so let's actually do a project, start a new project. Okay, so first project I'm going to do is very simple, my canvas. I'm going to create a project name called my canvas, and what I'm going to do is, in this particular thing, if you see, there's a drawing and animation, and there is something known as canvas. Okay, so here we are going to do a simple canvas wherein you can do a drawing, and then we'll extend it to the game. Okay, so we'll go step by step. So I'm going to put the canvas here, and as usual, I'm going to do the fill parent and width fill parent. Let me do one more thing. There's something. Let me do one more setup here. Okay. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to shrink this. So so we'll see this, and so we have put the canvas, and we have done a height with fill parent, so it has filled this parent, and we will do a simple drawing. Okay, so we'll do a simple drawing, and let's see what all canvas has. So sometimes what you need to do is, you may want to hit this question mark and see what all it can do. Okay, so if you kind of click this question mark, and then more information is also there, right? So canvas, you can change the background color, you can draw on it, and things like that. Okay, so so basically we can do, if you want to write a game, we need to put a canvas, and all the components can be inserted in the canvas. Okay, now so you can have a touch event. So canvas has a touch or a sprite that has that can be dragged here. Okay, so so let's actually go to the blocks, okay, and see what all things we can do here. So now if you see here, okay, so if you see here, we have something called draw line, draw point. Okay, so I'm going to experiment with this particular thing. Okay, so I'm going to on, so what I want to do is, when the canvas is um, dragged, right? When somebody drags, say I touch the canvas and drag it. So I'm going to kind of see, I'm going to start with this particular thing when canvas is dragged. And what I want to do is, I want to draw the line along with the drag component. Okay, so I want to draw a line so that it appears like a free text kind of thing. Okay, so let's see if I can do that. Okay, so here I can see that canvas dragged is there, touch down, touch, all the events are there, whatever you can do with the canvas, and there is something known as draw line. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, going to do draw line, and I'm going to actually draw a line with the points that is being dragged into. So so let's try this. So I'm going to say previous x and get previous y. Okay, so starting point is this, and wherever it is current, current to current x and current y. So I've just done like on canvas drag. I just want to draw a line between wherever it was the canvas was dragged, whenever you had kind of done this drag. Okay. Now if I let's try this. Let's see if you have missed something. So if I try to show you the screen, yeah, the screen is right there. So I can pretty much draw anything. I can draw anything. So if I, so basically I have, within this particular, as you can see, within this drag thing, I have pretty much written a canvas. So I can write whatever this is cool. Right? So I can do whatever I want. Now, the thing is I want to clear after some time, right? So I need to have some way to clear this. Now, one thing is to have a clear button and clear it so that we clear it. Or I want to do like a little bit fancy thing that if I shake my phone, I should actually, it should clear it out. Okay. So let's try that. So to understand the phone's shaking, right? So understand that when the phone is shaking, we need to have the accelerometer. Okay, so let's go to the designer, and in the sensor there is the accelerometer. So I'm going to drag the accelerometer sensor here. Okay, and if I go to the blocks, if I say this accelerometer shaking, when shaking, I want to clear that drawing, whatever I had drawn, I want to clear it while shaking. So sometimes, you know, these gestures, shaking of this, you want to do certain actions, right? So it's very convenient that instead of clicking some button and option, just shake it and it will just go away. So what I want to do is canvas clear. So there it is, clear is there. So canvas clear. Okay. So let me see if it has taken effect. So let me see. This is new. Okay. Now if I try to do shake this, it's gone. Okay. Gone. Okay, shake, gone. Okay, so it's a very pretty cool thing that one can do, wherein some actions that you take, and you can use the accelerometer actually to detect these actions that happens on the phone. Sometimes, you know, when the phone comes near to your ears, right? So you see that the this thing goes kind of blanks out, right, when you are actually on a call. All those things you can actually look at those sensors, and you can actually program them. When it's near, you do what you want. Okay, so. So if I try to do like, you can do a caricature drawing, whatever drawing you want, right? You can do whatever you want. Okay. So I'm going to shake it. I'm not good at caricatures, so I'm not going to do it. But you can draw whatever you want. Okay. You can save it also in a JPEG or a PNG file. Okay. So all these things can be done in simplistic canvas. So we just wrote canvas drag, and we just took a accelerometer just to show that aspect of shaking of that phone and getting that event and clearing the canvas. Okay, so it's very simple, that you can do. Okay, so I hope you are also able to try it out. Okay, now what I want is, let's see if I can do it here itself. Let me see if I can try to extend this. So we are done with the canvas. I can create a new project, or kind of you can save this project. So these are the blocks. You can take a screenshot also if you want. So basically what I want to do now is I want to actually try to write a game. Okay, let me see if there's anything in the chat, anything that has, I mean, okay, okay, guys, good evening, uh, Vasant, Meena. So I don't know whether it's your real name. In terms, I know that some of the accounts may be your parents' account. So sorry about that. Now what we want to do is we want to do that game thing, right? Whatever we talked about. Okay. So let's say what all we need. Right? So what I need is I need a ball, right? So that the ball will move, and I need a bat so that I'll defend that ball with that bat. So I need a ball and a bat. Right? So if I go down in the drawing and animation, I can see that there is a ball. Canvas we have already added. Right? So all this ball and um, these kinds of components can only be added in a canvas. So if you are writing like this, so I'm going to put this ball. Okay, let me see. Take this and drag the ball here. I'm going to take this image sprite. Since I want a bat also, I'm just going to put it for now, image sprite and this particular ball. So if I click on this ball, it is little bit small, I guess, the radius. So I want to increase the radius. So it is radius is 5 right now by default. I want to make it like 15. So that is a little bigger. Okay. So here is a case where there is a ball is being added, and now I want to move this ball. Right? I want to move this ball. So when you want to move this ball, you want to do it at a certain speed. So speed 0 means it's not moving at all. So right now by default the speed is 0, so it's not moving. Okay. So so I want to move this ball. Now, so let me do speed as 10. Okay. So I'm just going to take the ball and just put the speed as 10, so the ball will start moving. Okay. Now, which direction it's going to move, we'll kind of decide all those things. Okay. So let's say we just put speed as 10. Okay. Now, if I try to speed as 10. Okay. So if I see this particular thing, already it has started working. Okay. So if it has actually moved. Okay. So if I go back, so it has actually, it moved here. Okay. So, and then stopped here. Okay. So the ball just moved from here. We didn't see that. What we will do is I'll have to kind of, I want to move, say, I want to move the ball to left hand side here. I want to move this way. Okay. So the thing is, if you want to move the ball in this direction, so this is like 0, heading towards, you can say 0 degree. Okay. If you want to move the ball up, right, it is 90 degree. Okay. So if I try to change the heading is the angle where it wants to move. Okay. So if I want to change it to 90, okay. So this time what I will do is I'll keep it alive. This one, say it has already moved. I put 90 and it has already moved. Now if I want to move down, say for example, right? So 0, 90, 180 and 270, right? So 270 degrees down, it will start moving from down towards this. Okay. 0 is here, 90, 180 and 270. So I'm going to try 270. Okay. So heading, if I give the angle as 270, and the app, the companion app is already running. So I'm just going to enter and then quickly move towards that. Enter and then move towards that. As you can see, it has started moving down. Okay. So basically you have the control of the ball to actually move right, left, top, wherever you want. Whichever angle also you want, you can put. You can put the angle, if you try to kind of think about it. If you say 45, let me try that, 45. Okay. So if I try to do 45 there, so it has gone from the default position to 45. Okay. So so it has gone that side. Right? So you can actually think and then make the ball move anywhere you want at any speed. So we wrote the speed as 10. If I say speed as 5, if I reduce the speed, okay, and if I try to see, it's moving slowly. Okay, so we can increase the speed. So basically, what we have is we have a ball in our hand. We can control them, the speed, direction, speed, and the direction, and that's what we need for anything else. Okay. So that the ball movement, we kind of understand the movement of the ball. We have the control. Okay. And you can design whatever game that comes to your mind. You can design whatever is your imagination. You wanted to have a cool game, you can actually do it. Okay. With whatever your imagination is, you can create your own specific game, right? And you can give scores, you can give everything, whatever you ever imagined. It's very simple. Okay. That's the beauty of App Inventor. Okay. Now what I want a bat here. Right? So I want to actually um, defend this with a bat. Right? Now, if you saw this, it went into this particular thing, and then it got stuck there. Okay, so before we go into the bat, when it got stuck there, what is the use of this? I want it to be bouncing, like using regular physics, right? I want it to be bouncing like a ball, how it would bounce. So I want the ball to be a bouncing ball. Okay, so, so what do I do that? I want it to bounce. Okay, so let me see what I can do. Let me go back to the blocks. Okay, and I want it to bounce. So let's see what I can do. Ball. Okay. So here is the thing, when ball reaches the edge, there is this thing where edge has reached. So you have reached the edge, wherever the edge is, it has reached the edge, right? So what I want this particular ball, when the edge is reached, right? I don't want it to stop. I want it to continue bouncing. Okay. So what I want to do is, when the edge is reached, I want it to continue bouncing. So what do I do? So let's say here is the thing, and it has edge has reached. Say for example, whenever edge is reached, I want it to bounce. Okay. So here is the thing, call ball one dot bounce. So I'm going to actually tell that when edge has been, any edge has been reached, I don't want to do north south, whichever the edge is there. Um, yeah, whichever the edge is there, I want it to kind of do a get edge. Okay. So any edge is reached, I'm going to delete this. Any edge that is reached, it should start bouncing. Okay, so it should go to the edge and start bouncing. Let's see now what happens. So we know that it got stuck before, and now we are able to see that whenever it reaches an edge, we have just told it to bounce the way in natural physics that happens. Okay. So you got pretty much like a bouncing ball, which will hit the edge, come back in that angle, whatever the natural angle that happens. Okay. And so you have a bouncing ball. Right? If you think that the speed is low, we can increase the speed. Okay. So we can do a simple thing. Whenever it reaches the edge, say you want to increase the speed. Okay. So what do we do? Okay. So if you want to increase the speed, I want to say I want it to increase the speed. So let's say what we have. Let's see how we can do that. So there is a speed property. Okay. So here is the thing, set ball speed. We have set a fixed speed. Now what I want is, if I do this, okay, so if I set the ball speed, I want to speed to increase by certain amount. So I want to speed every time when it hits an edge, let's say, I want it to increase the speed by say 4, so that it starts increasing the speed. I just want to see that increase. So it touches the edge, increases it, touches it, and we will see, suddenly we'll see that it's like all over the place. Okay. So let's try to do that. And at some point it may be like too much this thing, but let's see. Let's have some fun. Okay. So speed equal to, I want speed equal to speed plus, I want to do this mathematics. Speed equal to speed plus 4, say for example. So what I want some math logic. I want an addition. Right? For addition, there is something known as built-in math. So as and when we need, we can figure out what is needed and we just do it. Okay. Rather than trying to learn everything in the world, whenever we need something, we see how to do it, and then we actually just do it. So there is this plus thing. So I want speed equal to speed plus 4. Okay. So um, here it is. So I have the speed. Okay. Now I want the old speed plus um, I will say plus 2, so because it is little, otherwise it will be too fast. Okay. So here is the thing where I want the speed equal to speed plus this thing. So I want to get that old speed, whatever old speed is there. So when you say speed equal to speed plus say 2, for I'm just being conservative, speed equal to speed plus 2, then what will happen is it will increase the speed. The speed will change to whatever was there plus 2. So it was 4 initially, 4 plus 2, 6. Then it hits an edge, 6 plus 2, 8. 8 plus 2, 10, like that. So you will see an increase in speed. Okay. So let's see math, and we'll get the number. There's the first thing. There's a number here. So I want the speed equal to speed plus 2, I'll put. Okay. So speed equal to speed plus 2. That's what I have done. Now let's see what happens here. So here it has stopped. Okay, so the old canvas is still there. That's why it's kind of the thing we've done on top of that canvas. Remember, we don't need that actually. Okay, so I'll just put this, and designer. I'll see what happened here. Okay. Speed equal to. I'll just say 3. So so if I try to see this now, you can see. Let's observe this. It has increased. Has touched this edge. Increase the speed now. Okay. So it will slowly increase the speed. As and when it touches the edge, we have done speed equal to speed plus 2. So moment it touches the edge, the speed is going to increase like anything. So we need to have some limit saying after a certain speed, we should not allow it because it will go to kind of a large number and it might like behave incorrectly. So right now we are not put that thing. So as you can see, it's like going faster and faster as it's hitting the speed. So probably we should have some limit to actually have some control. So as you can see, the refresh is like is going faster and faster. Okay, so it's going to just speed is keeps increasing. Okay, so so I'm going to go back to this blocks designer speed equal to 2 something like that. I'm going to put and let's say it has come back to normal speed. So I have actually connected the AI companion app and I can actually do some changes and see live it's working every time. I don't have to reconnect. Okay, so right now so that's the so whenever it touches the edge, I we kind of came to know that how to increase the speed. So I'm going to keep it outside this. I just don't want to do it right now, right? So so basically what we know now that whenever it reaches the edge, we know the to control the speed, the direction uh, of the ball, and the speed. Okay, and we know that when it reaches the edge, it's automatic. We can actually control everything. Now let's go back to our designer. So what do we do now? We need to have a we need to have a bat here. So I want to have a bat and I want to drag that bat back and forth so that I can kind of defend that ball touching this edge. Okay. So I need some things. I need a few things. Um, yeah. So I need something that would need a kind of I need a bat here so that I can actually drag the bat and defend this ball, but not allowing it to touch this edge. Okay. So what do I mean? How do I do? So I have to create a bat. I have to actually um, create my own bat. So I can do my own bat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually run the paintbrush. Okay. Um, I want to create a bat. Okay. So I'm going to bring in my paintbrush here. Okay. So I want a simple flat uh, bat. Okay. So let's say this is my bat. I want to have thin bat. And let's say I want to fill it with black color is already selected. I want to fill it with black color. So this is my bat now. Okay. So I've created a bat that I can use. Okay. So I'm going to do my bat 2. Okay. I had already my bat 1. Remember the previous thing which you saw? That was my bat 1. So my bat 2 is there. And what I want to do, I want to, in the image sprite, remember I had already inserted the image sprite here. So this has to come as an image sprite. Okay. So image sprite, if you see this image sprite, there is a picture here. So I want to actually point to the my bat 2. So I'm going to just now created this bat, right? So I think it was in my downloads folder, and I'm going to say my bat 2. Okay. So my bat 2 is the there you go. The bat has come. Okay. Now I want to place the bat here. The default position I want to be here somewhere. Okay. So that I can actually drag and drop. For some reason, I don't like the color, right? Maybe I want my bat to be black in color and the ball to be like a different color. Okay. So we can pick a color here. We can say red in color. So it's very kind of. So now what has happened is I have created a ball and the bat, right? And I want it to kind of use the bat to defend the ball from entering that edge. So if you think about it, so the moment I defend, I should get like 1 point. The moment I defend the ball from here, I should get 1 point and I should continue playing. And maybe some of the difficulty level is increase the speed of ball as and when you go. Okay. So so what do we want? So we have the bat and we have this. Now I want the some functionality in the bat. Bat is now it's doing nothing. Like it's a dead kind of thing. It will be just there as a element. Let's see if my screen has already. Where is it? Okay, so I think it is. Uh, okay, so let me actually my phone has gone into standby mode. Okay, so something else has happened. Okay, so kind of it is showing me in some weird configuration. So ball is moving, I know that, and I'm kind of at this point in time, I have not done any functionality for this particular bat, right? So I will go ahead and look at the blocks and see what can be done with the bat. So this is my actually image sprite. So I would say in designer, I would say yeah, instead of image sprite, I would say so image sprite is a type, and I would say bat. So this is my bat. Ball is already whatever is there, and so I know exactly what are if there are multiple images, then it's much easier to deal with. Okay, so when the edge reach, it's fine. Now at this point in time, if it collides, right? So if this bat and ball collide, they touch each other. At this point in time, I want to actually do something. Okay, I want to actually what? So let's say if the bat and ball collides, what is it that I want it to do? Right? I want it to like uh, defend. So I want to increase that means the whoever the user was using the game has actually successfully defended it because the bat and ball actually collided it. So the person has defended it. So technically speaking, I would say that I want to increase the score. So I want to increase the score. Okay, and I want to actually continue. Okay, so so let's see if it is so how do I know that it has so I need some mechanism by which I can increase the score, right? So I want some way to increase the score when it actually collides with it, okay? Collides with the bat. Okay. Let's see. So I want some way to indicate that, and let's see how we can do it. So I'm going to put a score here. Okay. So I also want like I also want something that is to reset. Remember, its speed keeps increasing, and I want a way to kind of reset it. Okay, so reset that ball so that it's everything is back to normal. Otherwise, I will lose the control. Right now, just you saw that particular thing, increase the speed, and then it just went off. So I want a reset button also. Okay, so basically, I also want a kind of a reset button or some. Let's add a button. Now, if I add a button, not added. So I add a button, and I also want a text box to actually keep the scores. Okay. Now, as you can see here, like this is taking vertical. It's quite boring, right? So it cannot. Our screen size is very limited. So so we want to make sure that within the form factor, it's actually horizontally placed. I want the reset or the fling button and the text box right next to each other. Okay. So far we have done just next vertically placing them, right? So what I want a horizontal arrangement. Okay, so let's see, let's go to the layout. Okay, in the layout there is a horizontal arrangement, so I'm going to drag the horizontal arrangement here. Okay, which gives me a full horizontal arrangement, and I'm going to put the text, the button here, and then text box also into the stuff. Okay, so now I have I want button first and then text box next. Okay, so now pretty much I have the next to each other because of horizontal. If you want name age like that, you want like a form kind of thing, then there is also a table arrangement where you can place all of them components in a nice fashion. Okay, you can play around with table arrangement, which is more popular. And if you have got a lot of a form field kind of thing, you're taking name, address, age, and all those things, then it has to be in a nice table arrangement where you can put the labels, and you can put the actual text box on the table arrangement. So you can play around with table arrangement, and it'll be pretty. You'll be able to figure it out. Okay. Now in the horizontal arrangement, okay. So in the horizontal arrangement, I want it to kind of fill parent. Okay, so I want to make sure that it's fully filled with fill parent. Okay, so that I don't know why it is. Okay, I just want not the height, uh, only the width, right? So so basically it has filled width. I want the whole width to be taken, and I want this particular text for this particular thing is fling. So fling is basically fling or reset, okay, whatever you want to call. Okay. So basically, I'm going to reset the thing and reset the ball also, fling the ball also. Let's see what it means, fling. Okay, so I'm just going to put fling, and so I'm just going to rename this button name. Remember, good name is always important. Okay, it's like when you write a program, when you code, you should write use a good variable, not A B C D E like that. Okay, so similarly, we should have button. So you start writing it correctly always. Okay. Now text box. What is this text box? Is the score. So I'm just going to put text box, whatever is there, underscore score. So this thing. And what is the default score? Default score is 0. And I want to make sure that it's numbers only. Remember that if somebody types um, A or something, A plus 5 will not work. If somebody types 5, 5 plus 1, 5 plus 2, 5 plus 3, like that will work. Okay. And I want to make it like read only also, so that nobody will be able to tamper the score. Otherwise, what will happen? You can actually change the score and increase the score. Okay. So right now I have made it read only, name it to 0, so that by default there's no score 0. And I have made it numbers only, so that I can do the arithmetic like score equal to score plus 1 at every time when it collides with the bat. I want to the score to increase. Okay, so basically I have got this fling button and I have got the score, that those two things are added now. Okay. Now so we have we'll just do this on fling button click. So we'll keep it what we need to do, we need to think about it. Okay. um, So I have removed the previous canvas thing. Um, I'm going to delete it. I don't need that, the old canvas that we tried it as a drawing canvas. I just want to delete it so that doesn't people who don't get confused. Right? There is a way to arrange blocks vertically so that I know that it's nicely arranged. So I don't want this also. I'm basically deleting. I'm cleaning up the code, whatever I have written. Okay. So so now when image sprite collided with, okay, so when the bat collided with the ball, right? So we need to say if it collides with the ball, right? So we need to check whether there are multiple objects, right? Then we need to say whether this is indeed is colliding with the ball. Okay. Here there's only one, so it doesn't matter, but it's a good idea to write correct code. So so what we want is we want a control if, right? So what I want is if that other object happens to be the ball, okay, so I want some logic, so to say equal to whether it matches. Okay, so I'm going to use the logic here and say if it's equal to. So I can say if a equal to b, right? If a equal to 100. Here what I'm saying, if whatever it has collided with, if the other guy happens to be the ball, so I'm image sprite, other guy should be the ball. Okay, so so here get other. Okay. So I'm saying get other, and I want the image sprite bat and ball collision, right? So so the I want to actually get the property of that image sprite itself. Um, where did it go? So the image sprite itself. So let's see if that happens to be the image sprite. Ah, last. Where did it go? Okay, so this happens to be the image sprite itself. Okay, so if it happens to be image sprite itself, then I want to increase the score. Okay, now so basically let's clean this thing up. So basically if it happens to be the image sprite happens to be um, Actually, it should be the ball. Okay. So what we'll do is, if this other guy happens to be, if the already collision is detected, the other guy happens to be the ball. Right? So actually, it should be the ball. Let's try this. Actually, it should be the ball itself, not right, because what's happening here is, if the whatever has been collided, that is the, it says other, is it a ball, we are checking. Okay, so let's see this and then we'll come to know whether it's working or not. Now what we want is, we want to increase the score, right? So again, we want to do some math, right? So basically I want to do an add. Um, so I want to do the set text box. Where is my text box? Yeah, text box, set text box, text value, right? I want to actually set the value to this plus this, so plus 1 actually. So whatever the old value which was there, right? So if I go to text box score, whatever the old value, the text which is there, text box text, okay, plus 1 I want to do. So I want to go to math and I'll get 0, 1, 2, 3, whatever the numbers that I want. I just want to increment by 1. So I got this particular value in math as 0 is the default. I want to change it to 1. Okay. So now what has happened? The bat, if it collides with the ball, then it happens to be the score should increase. Okay. So let me see if it's possible to see that current whatever we have. The phone. Okay, so the speed is, so here, as you can see here, it's kind of pretty, this thing, we have not yet touched once actually, that's why it has kind of thing. So I want it to kind of be a little bit more this thing. So right now it's still, if accidentally it touches, I can't even drag this, right? So I need to have a way to drag this particular thing. Okay, so I'll not worry about this thing, what is going on right now. I want to see if the bat can be dragged. Okay, so let's see this particular thing. So if image sprite dragged, this is the thing where you actually drag the bat. Okay. So what I want the image to be moved, right? The bat to be moved. Whatever the bat is there, I want it to be moved. So let me see if it is, if it is. Move to, there it is. Okay, so I want it to move. So wherever the this thing, when the bat is being dragged, I want the image to move to the current x and current y. Okay, so so here is the thing. So when I'm moving the bat, right? So if I move the bat left side, I don't want the x-axis to change, right? So I don't want the x-axis to change. I want the x-axis to remain whatever it was. Okay. So I want the x-axis to remain whatever it was. I want the y-axis to change. Why? Because if I drag the bat somewhere in the middle of the screen, I don't want it to come. I want to stay in the right-hand side only. So as you know, this vertical thing is y-axis and horizontal is x-axis. So I want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this as start x and see what happens. X I don't want to change. I want to change the y only. Oops, I want to change the y only. Get y. Okay. So what I have done is I have essentially kind of made sure that the bat cannot be moved somewhere in the middle of the canvas. Bat can only be moved vertically, right? By actually fixing the x axis of it. So only y can be changed based on where it is moved. Okay. So so let's try to see this particular thing, right? So I'm using my mobile now. Now I can see the bat movement is there now nicely. So even if I drag my bat in the middle of the screen, it will not come because x is still start x. Whatever was original x is there. Okay. So yes, I know that. So this is like I'm using the spare phone for mine. So here I can see, you can see it can be nicely dragged. Okay. Now I'm going to keep the, so basically I've got the functionality of dragging the bat. Bat I can move anywhere. Okay. Now let's see, once it's going to touch this particular thing, the score should increase because it's colliding. So bat and ball collided and score increased. Okay. Now also I want it to bounce back again. Um, so basically, whenever there is um, I want it to bounce back again. So there are first of all, let me increase the speed because it's too slow, right? It's quite frustrating. So so I want to actually, since I have the button fling, so I want to set the property myself. Okay, I want to set the property by myself, whatever the property of the particular. So moment I click the fling button, I want it to kind of to reset back to kind of throw the ball again. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I want to set the property. Okay, so so on fling, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, let me see what all properties are there. I want to set the speed, set the speed to something. We'll see what that speed with some value, a fixed value. Let's say 5. Just decide that. You can experiment with whatever the value that works for you. So it's going to again go back to speed. Say let's say 5. 0 means stop. 5 means whatever speed. And then the heading, that is the heading towards, right, the angle. Right? So if I give the angle, if you think about it, so ball, I want to change the heading, set ball heading. Okay, there it is. Okay. So I can actually say I can fix it right now. I'm going to say 45. So it will go in 45 degrees. So you know it's going to go this way for the right hand side 45. Okay. So I have done something, and now I have this particular thing. So let's actually see this action of this. Let's say if you have done it correctly, then it's going to kind of if I do fling here. Okay. So I've clicked the fling button. Again, the speed is so what I want to do is whenever it clicks the bat, I want to increase the speed. Okay. So now if I try to move this, I can do my mouse also here. If I try to like click this, so it's actually touched this. Okay. And then it became 6. So right now it's quite boring, right? I want it to increase the speed. So the moment I defend this, I want to increase the speed of I want it to increase the speed. Okay. So let's see if I can increase the speed. Um, when it collided, I here I want. So since set ball speed is there, I'm just going to copy this, duplicate, and okay. So I want to increase the speed by 1, whatever the speed value was there. I want to increase the speed by 1. Uh, so oh, I could. So basically, what I'm going to do is here, just like I increase the score by 1, here I want to actually copy this thing and I want to increase the speed and not this particular thing. So I'm going to remove this. Okay. So set the speed. So the ball speed, the ball speed by, so speed is going to increase by 1 is again 2, kind of 2 I'm going to do so that I can see it faster and set the score to this particular thing. Okay. So if it hits the, I'm just going to delete this, I don't need it. Click the delete key. So now what will happen is it will actually keep whenever it hits the whenever the ball hits um, the bat, it's going to actually increase the speed. Let's see that. So it has slightly increased the speed. I'm going to use the mobile itself. Increase the speed a little bit. Score is increasing. And actually you can have the number of counts also, like um, once it touches the other edge, then you can actually say that game over kind of thing. So you can actually play around with it. Okay. So now it's actually started increasing. As you can see, it has started increasing the speed. Okay. So it's again is becoming a little faster. So it becomes a little more difficult to kind of play this. And I want a little bit sound also here. It's quite boring. Okay. So so I want have a once it touches my bat, I want to have a sound. Okay. So let me actually go back to the designer and add something known as sound. So sound is a media. So I can actually put a sound here. Okay, so I have actually dragged the sound component. Now I want it to point to a particular sound file. Okay, so when you click on this sound, there is a source. So you need to point to a particular file which will give you some sound. Okay, so for now, I can download the sound or some any sound that I have within my system. Right. So I'm going to make sure that the sound. So I can download only free license sound which is available. For now, what I'm going to do is I already know that under Windows there is this Windows uh, media. So there are some strong songs are there, like so the wave files are there. So I'm going to use one of these wave files just for that, so that I can quickly do this. And what have I actually played around with all some of the sounds, and one of the sound that actually found interesting for this particular thing is the Windows message nudge. Okay. So you can get a ting sound. Okay. So now I'm going to do this. So I have added the sound, and if I go back to um, blocks, I want to play the sound when it collides. Okay. So, um, so what I want on this collision, I want to actually play this sound. So there is this call sound play. So moment it has touched this particular ball, then it's going to play the sound. So let's see if it works. Okay, so it has started. So let me show you this. Okay. So you can hear the small ting sound. Okay. Um, Now it is increasing the speed. Okay. So basically, as you can see, that we are pretty much kind of got this concept of writing these games, right? Like this game. You can increase the score, you can add difficulty level, you can have, um, you can do whatever your imagination says. So as you can see, it's increasing the speed now, and pretty much. So that was it. This is what I wanted to show. Okay. There are more improvements that you can do. You can try it out and do any more improvements, or you can come up with your own imagination and actually make this game. Okay. Um, you can make your own games. Okay. So like this with simple ball bat, and actually try to come up with your own imagination and do something cool. So uh, this is what kind of so sound must be coming. Okay, so now it's getting so as and when it hits the bat, it's going to increase the speed, so it's going to be more and more difficult. Okay, so it's again it's going to increase the speed. Okay. So I'm just playing it so that it will increase the speed. You can see the sound also coming in, and you can do whatever you want. Okay. Yeah, I will share the AIA file. Okay. So what I will do is, right now I think we are pretty much done with this particular thing. Now, like just like last time, I'm going to create a Google Meet, and I'm going to share that Google Meet ID with you guys, and then kind of um, and then we can meet on Google Meet. We'll stop the stream, and so give me a second, and I'll share the Google Meet, and then we'll stop the stream. Okay, where is it? So you can join here. Folks who have some questions or whatever you want to talk to me, you can come to this particular meeting, and then I'm going to kind of end the stream. Okay. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and tomorrow is the last day. We'll talk about the contest also, and we'll see what other things that we can do. There are extensions that we can use to do more stuff, so we'll be talking about those. So we'll end the session now. Bye, guys.